Hi guys, this is HS1 coming to you once again with the live streams. How's everyone doing today? So I'm sorry for taking so long once again to do my live streams. As you guys do know, I've been on vacation for the past month, and then I just got back about 2 weeks ago, back to Canada, where I'm from. Had school and all this crazy stuff going on, but I've been recording videos more regularly and doing daily uploads. Do you guys like the 20-minute videos I've been producing? If you guys do, put it in the chat. Yeah, I wanted to make longer videos for a while now, but I never really had the time to make the longer videos. Most of them were just about 10 minutes long or like 15 minutes. But, I thought I see everyone on the community of, the True Scary Stories narrator community doing all these longer videos, and I thought, why not I do it as well. And thus, I've been making longer videos for you guys. You guys seem to enjoy them. The view counts have been going up. Yeah, and everything's been actually going great for this YouTube channel. I have to mention that my True Scary Bullying Childhood Horror Stories video is almost at 2 million views. I don't know why that's the case. Everybody, like my friends and family, have been telling me about that particular video. It's doing insanely well. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. If you guys have any idea why it's doing so well, put it in the comments and tell me. I mean, I've been trying to do a part 2 and part 3 of childhood bullying stories, and they haven't been doing as well as that one. I really don't know why. But if you put like bullying in Google search or in YouTube search, that video itself, that one video that I have is like on the first 2 pages, and it's by far the most viewed video on my entire YouTube channel, my 2 years of work on this channel. I have no idea why. It's a pretty short video. I mean, I remember the day I made that video was like, it's not like I didn't put effort into it, but it wasn't one that I was thinking was gonna hit the stratosphere. I was thinking, I'm gonna make a video for today, and it was those times when I've been making like 10-minute videos. I was really busy with school, so I made 10-minute videos, and this was just one of the videos that I made. And at first, it didn't even get a lot of recognition, actually, just like any other video I would do, right? Honestly, on my channel, I feel like the Let's Not Meet stories and like the childhood stories related to school and that kind of culture, school bus, those topics get more views than a lot of paranormal stuff on my YouTube channel. Sadly, it does. I mean, myself, I like ghost stories more, but that's just my opinion. I guess my fans like Let's Not Meet stories a lot more. So that happened, and then I didn't think it would hit that mark, and then suddenly, like 2 months into it, after it being released, it suddenly just went crazy. Maybe somebody from Google just decided they liked it or something. They wanted to put it on the first page, and now it's like the most viewed video, almost at 2 million views. It's insane. Like, I never thought any one of my videos would hit 1 million, but now it's like 40,000 from being 2 million views. And it's gotten like 1 million views this month or something like that. It's insane. So without further ado, those are just some things I want to talk about. I'm just going to go to the chat, actually. But if you guys have your own true scary stories you want to share with me, whether it be ghosts, paranormal, Let's Not Meet, whatever, just to say hi, because I have some fan mail today. A fan sent me this really nice message. I want to read it on the stream. Just anything like that, or just any comments you would have regarding my channel or myself, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and I'll send you a link to get in here and talk to me. All right, guys? Without further ado, let's look at the chat, some comments you guys have, and then we're going to get into the scary stories that I have open right here from you guys, the subscribers. I think we have exactly 100 people watching at this moment, which is pretty cool. So, what's up, Home Slice? What's up? How old are you? Guess. Hey, do you accept fan art? Yes, I do. Notice you. Yes, Kog, I notice you, bro. Don't worry. I love the way you read. Thank you. Hey. Candy Hines, hello. Ty Shay, I am gonna cry. Cat Murphy says, why? Hey, how's it going? How's it going to you too? Thank you. Hey, that's that play. Notice me. All right, Carson knows football. What's up? What's up? So before I start with the stories, because a lot of people are like, "Do stories, man." You're awesome. Thank you, Gabby. Hi, Julie. What's up? All right. So thank you guys for being a huge fan. Some guys like you're my second favorite horror channel. Thank you. Number second is like even too high for me. I think I should be like number 9 or something. All right. So you're like, do you like anime? I not really. Can't tell, right? Um, so without further ado, let's read this mail. I don't know why. I don't know. I just kind of like touched by it today when I first read it. Like I'll get quite a bit of fan mail, but this one I just had to read it. I don't know. So it's from Stefan. He says, "I'm so addicted to your stories and posts. In large part, it's your voice. I discovered you're posting one slow night at work. They were creatively done, but your captivating voice drew me in. So this is my first official fan letter I've ever written. All the best, my scary friend." A fan. And then they have a quote. "In everyone's life, at some time, our inner fire goes out. It is then burst into flames by an encounter with another human being. We should all be thankful for those people who rekindle the inner spirit." And this email is called Touching Base, and they call themselves a fan. So thank you for choosing me as the first fan letter you've ever written. I feel like this person may be a bit older, not the typical teen fan that a lot of my subscribers are. But thank you so much, Stefan, for taking the time to listen to me. And I think it's your comment on my voice that's, you kind of just patted my ego pretty well. So I just had to read this. Thank you so much, though. Thank you. And if you guys have any more fan letters, I'll, because I get a lot of scary stories, but not a lot of fan letters saying touching stuff or giving me just random quotes like that. I'm like a softie and stuff, and I like to sing and write and stuff. So if you guys send me a letter with like a touching quote, I'll probably read it. You know what I mean? So thank you so much, Stefan. Thank you again. So if you guys have your own true scary stories, or you want to just give me a quote, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and I'll send you the link to get in here and you can talk to me. All right. So without further ado, a really talented writer called Christopher Maxim has actually sent me an email regarding he has a bunch of no sleep and creepypastas that he's written, and he said that I'm free to read it on here. So I was thinking, let's do that for a change, because I have not read a creepypasta or a no sleep in the longest time. I've been reading true scary stories. My world's been twisted into this, I believe the world is evil and is with stalkers and everything. So let's just read something that's a bit more like it's a fictional thing, and then let's get our artsy side back on. I bought my dad on eBay. I'm only 14 years old, but I'm very tech savvy. I enjoy hacking computers and even building them from time to time. One of my more recent and morbid hobbies has been exploring the deep web. Before you get the wrong idea, I don't go there for the dark stuff. Well, I do, but not the kind of stuff you're thinking about. I explore the deep web for the joy of finding new websites, brand new, off-kilter, bizarre ones. I find them and catalog them for my own personal enjoyment. It feels like I'm actively discovering new parts of an ever-growing planet, or at least the dark side of one. Despite it being the deep web, most of the sites I've come across are mundane and uninspired. For instance, a 9/11 conspiracy site, a dating site for white supremacists, a site dedicated to assassinating the president. Boring. But there's the more interesting ones, like a marketplace for selling various serial killer belongings, a site for worshiping a strange cult called the Clan of the Red Wolf, and a Hitler fanfiction site, violent, hypersexual fanfiction, I guess, to name a few. These are the kind of sites that either pique my interest or make me laugh, giving them a spot in my catalog of oddities. While on my usual hunt for the unusual, I came across a site called Parent Snatcher. The layout was overly simple and looked like someone's Tumblr page rather than a deep web website. but I wanted to see what it had to offer. In reading its contents, I found little to placate my hunger for the strange and obscene. It was just a list of pronouns and numbers, coupled with links to eBay listings on the surface web selling furniture. Her, 37, eBay listing, love seats, 14,356. Him, 28, eBay listing, sofa, 11,467. Her, 42, eBay listing, drapes, 12,569. Him, 40, eBay listing, ceiling fan, 2,997. Her, 32, eBay listing, dining room set, 2,997. The setup confused me. Doing a little more digging, I found various number sequences embedded into the background of the site. Being a fan of encryption, I wondered if it might be a code of some sort. I took down the series of numbers and ran it through one of my many code-breaking programs that I had on my computer. About an hour or so, it popped out a message. Welcome to Parent Snatcher. Need a new mom or dad? Not satisfied with the one you have? Well, you've come to the right place. Follow a her listing for a mother unit and a him listing for a father unit. Ages are included in description. Once payment is received by eBay user, we will send you your new parent. All of our human products come within a lifetime guarantee. We monitor the bonding process 24/7 for quality control. They are equipped with a tracking chip and video surveillance, making it impossible for them to escape. We here at Parent Snatcher desire your full satisfaction above all else. Enjoy. Now that was weird. I've certainly never seen anything like that on the deep web. This was certainly getting a special place in my catalog, whether it was fake or not. After saving the site into my collection, I wondered, what if it actually worked? This is gonna sound stupid, but I always wanted a dad. It's been me and my mom for as long as I can remember. She says he left when I was very young, but I don't recall him ever being there. As such, I would often fantasize about him returning home, seeing me all grown up and wanting to be a part of my life again. Like I said, it's stupid. Still, I really wanted to know if the site worked. I tried 1,000 different search engines and asked around on forums on both the deep web and surface web. Not a single mention of Parent Snatcher anywhere. I finally ripped my eyes from my computer monitor and looked over at the clock. It was nearly 3 in the goddamn morning. I've been searching for information on this one site for several hours, and for one reason or another, I could not let it go. Maybe it was my need for a father figure, or perhaps it was the lack of sleep. Either way, I found myself walking upstairs to my mom's bedroom. Once there, I snuck past her asleep on the bed and reached into her purse located on one of her nightstands. I grabbed her wallet and quietly walked back downstairs to my room. I grabbed one of her credit cards, followed the cheapest dad listing on Parent Snatcher to the surface web, and clicked on the buy it now option for a ceiling fan. I typed in all the credit card information required and then paused for a moment. I was about to not only break my mom's trust and spend a boatload of her money, but I was also doing something potentially dangerous. What if the man that I purchased wasn't nice? What would my mom say or do when he got here? What if there was no man at all? What if the site was just a carefully orchestrated scam designed into swindling unsuspecting kids out of their parents' money? I asked myself these questions. But they barely made a dent in my curiosity. I hit enter and finalized the purchase. After sneaking the card back to my mom's purse without being noticed, I waited. Days passed. Those days eventually became weeks. I had to put up with my mom arguing on the phone with her credit card company as well as eBay over the mysterious $3,000 purchase made with her card. She never once suspected me of doing the deed, even venting to me about it from time to time. That made me feel guilty. My guilt, however, was no match for my excitement. I could not wait to see if Parent Snatcher was legitimate. The weeks that passed eventually turned into a month. This is when I started becoming very wary of the site's claims. I began to accept the fact that I was a dumb kid, fooled by a master con artist. I was left feeling hopeless like an idiot. I had been fantasizing about a scenario in which the site not only worked, but sent me a nice man to be my dad. He would meet me and meet my mom, and they would fall in love. We would be a family. I knew the chances were slim, but I still hoped I was a fool. One night, while on my computer, searching for more deep web gems, I heard a loud bang. It sounded like it was the front door. A burglar, perhaps? I jumped up from my computer and grabbed the baseball bat I kept under my bed. I was ready to fight off any would-be intruder. After getting into a fighting stance, I heard someone shuffling around outside my bedroom. My adrenaline was through the roof. I stood my ground and wound up the bat, ready to swing. My bedroom door swung open. It was a man, wearing all black, including a black ski mask. He looked me up and down, apparently sizing me up before speaking. "Are you the one who placed an order with Parent Snatcher?" Struck with confusion, I nodded. The man then bolted in my direction and grabbed me. He put his hand over my mouth and pulled me out of my room. I struggled, but he was too strong. Just before he could get me out of the house, I attempted to bite his hand through the leather glove he was wearing. I clenched my teeth as hard as I could and managed to get a reaction. The man groaned in pain. That's when I was able to wiggle my way free and run towards the stairs, all the while screaming at the top of my lungs for my mom to wake up. The man caught up quick and grabbed me again, but my cries for help were effective. My mom showed up at the top of the stairs just in time to see what was going on. My mom screamed and leaped down the flight of stairs faster than I've seen any person move in my life. She began bashing the guy's head with her fist, making it nearly impossible for him to hold on to me. He threw some punches back, but I wasn't going to let him get away with laying his dirty hands on my mom. I stretched my leg back as far as it would go and kicked him so hard in his nether regions that he fell to the floor. He was still trying to fight back, but my mom and I had the upper hand. He eventually ran for the door and fled from the premises. It's been a week since that man broke into our home. A few weeks, actually. I can only guess that he did really work for Parent Snatcher, but the site wasn't what I hoped it was. It seemed that its goal was not only to make money, but to also kidnap kids. Once they have a billing address, they probably canvass the area for a few weeks and make sure the house in question actually harbors a child or teen. I didn't figure all of that on my own. If I was able to think that far ahead, I wouldn't have wound up in this mess to begin with. I told my mom the truth, as well as the police. They figured out the rest. Unfortunately, the site was taken down, and the perpetrators were never apprehended. The cops are still on lookout, though, and offered my mom and I a police detail and new security system. So despite the ordeal, we sleep well. What would Parent Snatchers have done if they had actually captured me? The police wouldn't offer me insight on this, but I'm sure they told my mom. I already have a good guess anyways. I figured more than likely would have been integrated into some kind of child trafficking ring, perhaps sold off to the highest bidder on another deep web website. From there, I'm sure you can gather what would have happened. Lucky for me, I wasn't captured. So all in all, I've learned a lot from being nearly kidnapped. And one thing is for certain, I will never ever visit the deep web again for as long as I live. All right, great story. So, we have 136 viewers. Hi guys. Let's look at what the chat's saying. Oh my God, you're amazing. Thank you. He's a good reader. Thank you. Love this. Thank you. You know, it's weird that today's Chat is more normal than usually, eh? Hello, hi, hi. I'm looking at the chat right now, guys. You guys have any questions? Master Sword's back. I'm a huge fan. I watch your videos every night. Thank you, Kaylee. Amber says, notice me, senpai. And Natasha says, your videos are super awesome. I listen to you all the time. Jaden asked me if I was Asian. I guess I am. They're like, are you from Asia? What do you think? I just have the TV on as well, just provide lighting, I guess. I'm actually in my living room because my parents are out. So if you guys don't know, it's Chinese New Year this weekend. That's why Gong Hei Fa Cai. For those who know Cantonese, you know what I'm talking about. No one here is Chinese apparently, because no one's saying anything in the comments. Hi, what's your drink? It's lemon water with honey. They're like, you're the new Mr. Nightmare. Nobody's Mr. Nightmare, man. There is only one Mr. Nightmare. Are you Chinese? Yes, I am. Good guess, by the way. Happy Chinese New Year. Yeah, one person said it. Hey, yeah, yo. What's up? Ever thought about doing a narration in your native language? Yeah, that'd be really cool, actually, yeah. Jody Lee says she knows Cantonese. Cool. All right, so if you guys have your own true scary stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and then, yeah, you can get in here and share your own stories. Some guy says, I went to Chinatown yesterday. Yeah, I guess that counts as being Chinese. It's close enough, right? All right, let's read a story. So this one is from Gilberto, who sent me a couple stories in the past about himself and with his other family members, mostly his dad. This one is also one from his dad. So let's read it again for him. And thanks again, man, for sending me the stories. See, I actually do read the stories, man. I'm not just like, send me stories and then like never read them. I actually do read them. A few of my dad's experiences. It's Gizzy again. It's been a while since I last sent a story, so here are some stories that happened to my parents after they had their official wedding. My dad was building his house in Mexico, and they moved in together. But before they moved to that house, they lived in a house with a store in the garage. This is the same house where I saw the dog-like thing and where Marco appeared to me. Oh, and there was a well in the backyard. It was next to the big tree in the center of the yard. Didn't mention it in the other story I sent with the dog thing. Something happened to the bathroom, which then my dad had to fix it. That was when my dad got an outhouse and placed it in the end of the yard. My dad told me that there's a lot of witchcraft in Mexico till this day. There would be many females that wanted to be with my dad, but did not want to get married. And if they did, then they would have to wait for him to build a home for them. Once it was done, they could get married. They all declined. This one time, my dad was going out with a girl who was a friend of my mom. Somehow, my dad got word that his girlfriend was learning black magic, and my dad broke up with the girl. Then he started to go out with my mom and later getting married. The first few days after their wedding was okay, but eventually things start to happen at night or during the day. One day my mom was making beans and heating up milk for coffee in the kitchen to eat with my dad. It was early in the morning. My mom walked away from the stove and went to do something else. When she came back, my dad was just coming out of the room, and my mom gave him his plate of beans and mug of coffee. Everything was normal until my dad grabbed a tortilla and scooped up some beans. He put them in his mouth and started to chew. He spit the beans out and saw long strands of white and gray hair on his plate. He told my mom that there was some weird shit on his plate, and she checked the pan and saw that there was a whole ton of hair mixed in with the beans. She then checked the milk and saw hella maggots moving around in the milk, and she screamed. My dad went to check and saw the maggots. He did not know what to do and said, "What the fuck? Why did you use spoiled milk?" My mom replied, "Everything was already alright 10 minutes ago, and everything was fresh." So they made something else to eat and went on with their day. After a few weeks, when they would be sleeping, then around 1 a.m. the radio would come on and play a weird station, and the volume would be on maximum. My dad would go turn it off, and 20 minutes later it would go off again, and then my mom told my dad to unplug the radio, which she had done the first time he went to turn it off. Once the radio was not a problem anymore, they would try to sleep. Eventually, they would end up sleeping, but would be woken up by clack, 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 then a shh and splash. This would happen over and over again when they were sleeping at around 3 a.m. in the morning. The clacks itself would be gears turning that would raise the bucket out of the well. Then the bucket would drop and make a splash, hitting the water when it landed, which then would repeat. My parents ignored it, but when they would get irritated, my dad would yell, "Can you fucking stop? I'm trying to sleep." Then the noise would stop for that night, but that wasn't the end of the random noises and paranormal things. If it wasn't the radio or the well, it was something else. My dad told me that every night they would go or try to use the outhouse before bed so they wouldn't go out past midnight. My dad said a giant owl-like thing would come and visit them. He said that the owl was around 3 feet tall and sounded like it was trying to speak, vomit while making similar sounds to a mule or zebra at the same time. One night, my dad went with my mom so she wouldn't be outside alone. He said he had an uneasy feeling after my mom came out. They looked up at a tree and saw the fucking owl looking down at them with bright eyes. They ran inside and started to pray. When they started to pray, the owl started to laugh or making its weird sounds, and they prayed until they fell asleep. The next day, my dad went to his sister's husband and asked if he could borrow his rifle. Later that night, he heard the owl and went to the closest window facing the tree and shot at it. My dad said that the rifle didn't do shit to it, and the thing started to laugh at him again. This made my dad furious. He was tired of the owl and decided to get the 12-gauge shotgun from his brother-in-law and return the rifle the next day. He came home and he had brought him holy water from the local church. He carved crosses on 2 of the shells. When night came around, he placed the shells in the bowl and poured the holy water on them. When he heard the owl start to begin its demonic screeching, he placed the 2 shells with the cross and holy water first, and 3 regular ones to fit the capacity on the gun. He went to the same spot as before. He took aim and bang! The leaves on the tree flew off in every direction, and then everything went quiet. That was the last time they ever heard of it. And to this day, my dad says jokingly, "I don't know if I killed it or not. If I didn't kill it with a gun, then I scared it to death with that shot." I asked him if he thought it was the devil. He said he didn't know, but that there's people who do black magic and could shapeshift into animals similar to skinwalkers, but they're not as lanky or thin. There was a night where my mom and dad were asleep when all of a sudden a loud woman's scream woke up my parents. And my mom told my dad if he heard that, and my dad told her that it was a meal, so she wouldn't get scared, but he knew it was something bad. He said that the hairs on the back of his neck would stand up, and he couldn't sleep that night. My dad says that it was the La Lorna, La Lorna, the weeping woman, but the scream didn't say, "Where are my kids?" I searched around and found that many people say she doesn't yell for her kids. The next day, he went to my grandma. My dad told his mom that they heard the weeping woman and every other thing that happened to them previously. She blessed the house with holy water, sage, and prayed everywhere in the house. After my grandma blessed the home, everything stopped and they lived normally without distractions and paranormal things. Sorry for the essay, but these stories all happened around the same time and in the same house. These are just a few things that happened to my parents. Mexico is full of weird shit. If you don't believe them, that's your own problem, but they are 100% legit, and I'll be sending more stories later on. Shit. Alright. Lorna. So, Lorna. I think that's, I don't know. I'm not Mexican, guys. Some guy's like, I thought your voice was fake. Well, now, see, I'm doing it live, dude. It's live, man, so it's not fake. I'm not using a voice changer, guys, despite popular belief. All right, so a bunch of you guys sent me for the links, and I will be sending you emails. So if you guys sent me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, check for it. Sending the links now. So guys, my email is horrorstudio1@gmail.com. So the name of the channel @gmail.com, basically. So wait for those people to come in, and we have a few more stories I want to read for you guys as well. And just a bit of a disclaimer or whatever. If you guys do come in, please mute your mics or try to, because I probably will be reading a story, or someone else will be speaking of a story, and it's just better, you know, just the flow of the show gets better. So Elite Squad says, I love you, bro. Thanks, man. Love you too. All right. So let us read another story. Scary night. Greetings and salutations, Horror Studio 1. I would first like to put it out there that I truly appreciate all the hard work and effort you put into these narrations and videos. Out of all your favorite... Oh, shit. Okay, I read this before. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bad memory. Okay, so this is... Hi, Horror Studio 1. I don't know what type of stories you're looking for, but if you do use this, please make my name anonymous. Thanks. Sorry if it's too short. By the way, I've been subscribed to your channel with a different email, so just you know. And the story itself is called Getting Lost in the Woods with My Cousin. So a few years ago, I lived in the middle of nowhere in the woods in Michigan. And I do literally mean the middle of nowhere. I had to walk all the way down the street and road just to reach human civilization once again. So maybe a day or two before the incident, I wished for something new and exciting to happen. You see, I've always loved adventure, and I remember saying something like, I wish something exciting would happen, like getting lost. I thought it would be an adventure, but I was very wrong. Now, I don't know why I thought getting lost in the middle of our woods would be remotely fun, but apparently I did, because I thought it would be a new experience, and you know, movies always make that sort of thing look interesting. I remember looking into the mirror and suddenly hearing a voice that wasn't my own, but inside my head. Now call me insane if you want, but I think that's some sort of omen to what was to come. The voice spoke in a creepy woman's voice and said, "Something's in your way." What was that? I wondered. Perhaps it was meant, be careful what you wish for, or something like that. To this day, I still wonder about that. Perhaps I am just really insane. Anyways, a little while afterwards, me and my cousin, whose name I will not mention, were playing outside in our woods, and I wanted to show him this special little area I had found. Of course, failing with directions as usual, we wandered deeper and deeper into the dark woods and eventually found that we were lost and in the middle of nowhere. Now, my cousin was becoming kind of paranoid and talking about how we're gonna end up dead or something. So the poor frightened me was practically almost or maybe about to cry. We walked for what seemed like hours with nothing to guide us but each other. I honestly thought we were going to die from an animal or some dehydration or starvation or something. I was quite literally terrified. Now I know to you, you're probably like, why didn't you just call someone? But I don't think either of us had phones back then, so we had no idea what to do other than scream for some sign of help, which never came. So we were walking for a while. My cousin suggested that we split up and go separate ways. Now I've seen enough movies to know that that sort of thing never ends up well. So in the end, we did end up staying together, thankfully. We eventually came to a street, so we went to the door and rang the doorbell. And I think there were two guys that answered the door. In a short matter of time, we called my parents, and my dad came to pick us up. And this entire time, no one even knew that we were missing, though I thought we were gone for maybe half an hour to an hour or more. We both arrived safely back in the end. I think the moral of the story is to be careful what you wish for, and that things aren't always as they seem. You never know what could happen to you. You know, this is an interesting story for me. I just want to comment a bit on it. I realize that this story has no let's not meet, no stalker, no nothing like that. It's a pretty interesting story because it's just these guys that get lost and that's it. I mean, there is maybe like a paranormal aspect to it in the beginning, but overall, I found this pretty interesting. And to be honest, I've read so many of these stories in the past like 2 years I've been doing this. That a story with that doesn't end with whatever, let's not meet again is actually a breath of fresh air for me, in my opinion. So, I mean, if you guys just have stories that are like you getting lost in the woods, there's just some crazy, horrible experience that doesn't have to do with like a stalkerish guy or something. The less typical stories, I mean, I would love to read them. I mean, this one I actually thoroughly enjoyed, to be honest. I mean, it had maybe a little bit of a paranormal sense to it, and you know, it was just quite interesting enough. And there was a little bit of suspense and it felt like a good adventure, like an adventure story more than a horror story in my opinion. And I found that quite interesting. Holy cow. All right, so yeah, if you guys do come in, please try to mute yourselves. You guys are asking me, are you talking with people on Skype or Discord? No, it's actually Google Hangouts is what I'm using. So if you guys have your own stories, I would have to send you the link though. So you know, just follow the link, click on it, use Google Chrome if possible, and yeah, that's how you get in. Give me 1 second. Is the mic out? Oh no. You're the kind of friend I like to have. Thank you. So if you guys have your own true scary stories, send me at horrorstudio@gmail.com. Shantia and love. Hey, thank you. Dad, is that you? Yes, it is, man. What? Can you say my name, please? Okay, Cole. What am I drinking? It's lemon water with honey. It's not holy water, guys. Jesus. All right, so I think we have someone in here. Hey, what's up, buddy? It's Riley's in here. I just sent him the link.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man. You mind to just turn off the other screen?
Sure.
Because there's an echo.
Is that better?
Wait. No. The other screen where it's playing this video, just keep the chat on. Like close everything but this.
Sure. Hang on. All right. Did that fix it?
No. Wait, okay, so I'm gonna have to mute you, man. Just close everything but the one where it's Google Hangouts, if possible. And then, okay, so we have another person. We have Rita. Hey.
Hi.
Okay, so you don't have the echo, so you know what's up. How old are you and where are you from? How old are you and where are you from? Hey. Hello? Okay, Riley, I'm just gonna mute you for now until you turn off that other screen, bro, because it just keeps having an echo where everything is repeating. So turn everything off but the Google Hangouts if possible, all right, man? Hey, Rita, what's up?
Hi. This is
Hi.
so cool.
Yeah. So this is your first time on Google Hangouts?
No, it's first time chatting with a YouTuber.
Thanks. You like watch my videos a lot then, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. How long you been subscribed or watching?
For less than a month, but I've been watching for quite a while.
Oh, nice. So you like watched me for a long time, but I wasn't good enough for you to subscribe until.
No, I just recently subscribed.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so what kind of a story do you have? Are you just here to say hi, or do you actually have some creepy stuff going on?
I sent you an email like that says hi. The story's in there. I would like you to read it.
Do you want it, since you're here, you want to maybe just tell us? I mean, it's better. I mean, always better if the person is actually like, I mean, I do a okay job, but Jesus, you're right here. Like, God, come on. We'd like to hear it from you.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
We're back, right?
Yes, I know, but shh. In my room.
I thought you just got like another voice actor to come do it for you or something.
No, my brother just walked in my room.
All right, so let's start. Yeah. Is it a paranormal ghost story or it's not me?
And not really any. It's more of like a weird dream.
Cool. All right, let's hear it.
So I was having a dream, and I was on a boat with my brother, my dad, and my dog, and for some reason a classmate, which was the weird part, because I don't get along well with my classmates. Like, I'm not that close to them.
Mm.
Okay, and all of a sudden the classmate pulls out a gun, and he says, "I'm gonna give your dog a third eye."
Mm-hmm.
He points the gun at my dog and shoots him. And
Whoa,
I then
what state are you living in? Jesus, like how?
This is a dream.
Oh, this is in your dream. Okay.
Yes.
In the dream, he pulls out the gun. He shoots your dog with it. That's insane. Okay, and then.
And then for some reason my brother's bat ends up in my hands. My dad holds the guy down, and I start swinging the bat at him. And I just keep swinging it and swinging it.
Okay.
And eventually my dad lets go of him because he's long dead at the point.
Jesus, this is a
Mind. For me, it's.
Gee, dude, I mean, it's like Chinese New Year today, man. I mean, I know you're not Chinese, but geez. All right, keep going. So you and your family commit this murder against this, this.
I'm the only one who would do it. I'm the only one who does it. My dad just holds him down.
All right, accomplices for sure. Okay, and then you.
And then
Yeah.
And I just keep swinging it, even though his brain is seeping out his like mush by this point.
This just feels like the times I used to play GTA with my cousins. Just we've been playing too much Grand Theft Auto there. All right. So what was the significance of the dream? It just proves that you really hate your classmates. I mean, besides that.
No, it just proves that I went insane in the dream. Because I stopped crying and I started laughing and I was still swinging at him.
So
that was the weird part.
So you feel like this is some kind of sign for something, or what was it, like a premonition, or what was this? Why is this scary, do you think?
Because I murdered someone in my dream.
You know, I've actually never
That
had a dream where I did that before. I never had a dream where I killed somebody. It's weird. I know.
the person in my school has had a dream like that,
yeah,
where they killed someone.
like a teacher or something.
No, a
Wait,
student.
so have any paranormal things happened to you in your lifetime, or just?
I heard a voice once, like right in my ear once,
How was that? Why was
and
that?
it wasn't because it was weird because it said you'll get hit by a car or something like that. Mom yelling for me, and then I of course leave my room and go by the stairs and ask, "Mom, what do you want?" and call you.
Did the voice sound like your mother at all, or was it just like a?
No,
Ooh, but she was the only one in the house, I'm guessing.
like she was the only other person in the house. Like
Okay.
the person who yelled my name was my mother,
Yeah.
but she didn't actually yell it. But the person I heard by my ear,
Was not.
it wasn't either of us. Wasn't.
I see. And it's the house that you're currently in right now, as you say this. That's creepy. You have a nice background there. Is it just like you? It seems like you're in like a tent or something.
No, I'm in my room.
Okay, just the back's pretty cool. Anyways, thank you so much for your story for today. Thanks for dropping by. I can tell you're excited and nervous at the same time. So, anyways, thank you.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, thank you for showing up, coming by. So we have 2 other people in here right now. If you guys have your own true scary stories to share, whether it could just be like a weird ass dream where you murdered your classmate, you know, a ghost story, whatever, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com and you can come in here. All right, so we have 2 other people. We have Riley, who was here before. Hopefully you got that sound thing figured out, bro. Let's hear if it's figured out. I'm just gonna unmute you, brother.
Is it good?
Wait, I have to talk. Hello?
Hey.
All right, sounds good. Wait, no.
Okay.
Shit. Okay, you know what? I won't talk. So you just share a story.
Okay. I would just like to say, first of all, I'm a huge fan of your videos, and keep up the good work. Anyway, on with the story. About, let's say a couple months ago, I was, me being the little 14-year-old I am, always wanting to impress my little ego, and hearing all the stories from other channels and your channel of Tor in the deep web, I wanted to try it out for myself. I took some safety precautions. I had a thick black paper, like I would say it was close to construction paper, covering my webcam, so I was A-okay there. And I downloaded Tor, and I went on it, and I started going through the deep web. I saw the usual stuff. Hitman for hire, guns, drugs, that sort of thing. I eventually stopped impressing my ego. So I went deeper, and I found the deep dark web. If you don't know what it is, it's a very dangerous part of the web where it's easy to get hacked, and it's easier for you to get hacked, and it's easier for people to find out where you are. But obviously, I wanted to impress my ego. So I went in anyway. Now, while I was going through it, I have a fascination for tech. I'm pretty tech savvy. I enjoy hacking, taking computers apart, putting them back together, that whole thing. So I found this one Hitman site, and there was a Hitman. I can't remember his name, but it was something goofy. I think it was like the Rings of Justice or something weird. And I wanted to make a couple bucks. So I just went looking around, and I had a feeling he wouldn't put it in his actual bank account. I was right. I went hacking around, and I ended up coming across his bank account. I assumed it was his, so I started hacking through it to see if I could get a couple bucks. I managed to get 200 bucks out of it, and I felt pretty happy. A couple minutes later, as expected, a chat box appeared. saying, "Hey, how's it going?" I said hi and asked if it was him, and he said yes. And he told me a couple things. One, he'd like his stuff back. I said no, and if you were a bad person, and I did a fair thing. And that's when he turned on his webcam. When he turned on his webcam, he was showing, I assume it was on mobile or something similar, because he was showing me footage of my girlfriend, and she was at her house with a couple of friends over. They were having fun watching a movie. I got a little bit nervous, but thought I could still get out of this in one piece. So I asked him what he wanted. He said he wanted $300 instead of the original $200. And my mom's banking info. I thought this was a bit absurd. I wanted to call my girlfriend to warn her, but I figured if as soon as she picked up the phone, and one thing would have led to another, and he would have assumed that it was me, and things would have taken a darker turn. So I waited for the perfect moment. She went into another room. I took that chance to call her. She has an iPod at the time. She still has an iPod, so we had to use FaceTime, but I was okay with that. From where she could see me, she could see my TV, Xbox, and Kinect in the background. You're going to find out why that's important soon. I was talking to her, and I was warning her what's happening, and I said, stay in your house no matter what. Try to keep as many people there as you can, and call the cops if you can. She said okay. She went upstairs. She told her mom. She was still on the phone with me, though. Her mom was on the phone with the police. She went downstairs. Halfway down the stairs, though, she stopped and said, Riley, why is your Kinect on? Are you playing Xbox? A chill went down my spine. I spun around and saw my Kinect was in fact on. So was my TV, but I'd left my TV on. Only one problem. My TV was showing footage of me in my room. I thought I was completely safe from him hacking in and seeing me. I started to panic. I ran downstairs in the basement and I turned off the power to the entire house. My mom came downstairs yelling, obviously upset about the whole power thing. I turned it back on and explained to her that my Xbox was being weird, so I had to fix it. I said sorry and she went back upstairs. Everything seemed normal. It's been 2 months. The guy won't leave either of us alone. If any of you have any tips, I'm well happy to take them. The police can't find anything.
Yeah, if you guys have any tips for Riley over here, put the in the comments. Wow, this is insane. This sounds like something that I would find on a website or something, dude.
Yeah, it does sound like Reddit.
It sounds a lot like Reddit. So, Riley, bro, I just had to mute your mic because there would be an echo. But interesting story. If you guys have any comments for Riley, put it in the comments in the chat, and then hopefully that can help you out, bro. I'm sorry about having to mute you because right now we don't want the echo. But thanks for your story again. A real D-Web story. So the next person is someone that's been here before, Master Sword. So if you can just say what you gotta say, and then yeah, what's up, bro?
Nothing much. I just got a story about a haunted Tyrannosaurus. Well, not Triceratops toy. It was my cousin's.
All right, yo, one sec. Just narrate the story. I'm gonna get my charger because my computer's gonna run out. So just tell your story.
Yeah, no problem, dude. All right, so basically, what the story was is my cousin at a garage sale got a little Triceratops toy, and he absolutely loved the thing, and he still plays with it sometimes, but there's a little spooky background story to it. So before he had got it, he had noticed it was in kind of a discarded pile for free type thing. Now, like, that may sound like kind of a Craigslist type story thing, but I can assure you I was basically there while he was getting it. It was in like a free to 25-cent range. My family likes that side of the family likes going garage sale and like thrift shopping. So that's one of their hobbies that they do. They go to like estate sales or garage or yard sales and they buy stuff like that to save money and stuff. So he had bought that toy and he play for it. And he's had that toy for probably about 5 or 6 years now. And there had been multiple occurrences of where it's moved on its own. Its voice box, where it had no batteries in, had still done its little Tyrannosaurus roar, where it was I remember one instance, they were out and they're out in their yard camping in the back. And they're out by their fireplace. They had just finished a nice little s'more bonfire, and they had eaten their s'mores, and they were going off to bed. It was raining. It was raining out after that, and it was probably about 12 in the morning when, out of nowhere, both of my cousins hear the roar of their Tyrannosaurus Rex. Well, not, you know what I mean, the dinosaur toy. And it had gone outside, somehow went from upstairs in their room, down a flight of stairs, out the French doors opening to the deck, down the deck, walked out to a rock, and was standing on that rock. It had moved that much. And in the houses previous before that story was just a couple, 3 years ago. In the previous houses before that, we called it the SpongeBob house because my cousin's room that they shared was decorated like SpongeBob. And always in that SpongeBob room, that thing would stay on its place. And me being the 10 or 11-year-old, I didn't really believe my cousin had like some mysterious, mystical toy that would move around on its own. So me being me, they didn't like to sleep in that room. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'll go in there for the night. And
when did this happen? Like,
this happened in like 2010, 2011.
Okay.
Stayed over there for I think New Year's, and I can say that thing does shift from time to time at night. It shifted. Apparently, it moves for them more, but it just shifted a couple times at night. I could hear it cracking and moving the mechanical joints.
No way. You could hear it moving.
I could hear it moving.
What the fuck?
Insane.
Really?
And it reminded me of like that was right after the experience with those Raggedy Ann dolls I've told about on the story before. Basically, where like just to sum up the Raggedy Ann story, one ended up under my bed and one was sitting in front of my bed after they were propped up on a chair before I went to get bed. So it was kind of like that. And also, like, I think it was just a couple New Years ago, I had another experience with it where it went from we were playing hide and seek, and they always throw it away under their bed. The cousin that has it under their bed, and he's like, okay, so when you're playing hide and seek, and if you go in my room, don't take the dinosaur from out under the bed. Even if you hear it move, do not take it out from under the bed. And the thing is usually stowed away under a couple totes under the bed. So it's locked in there, and I go in the closet because I know it's not in there. So I hide in the little closet that they have, the walk-in closet. So I'm hiding in there. They had found everybody, so they're searching for me. So there's no way my uncle could have moved it whatsoever if they were looking under the bed, because the bed is filled with under the bed is filled with totes of toys, and I can't hide under totes of toys or anything like that because it was only a twin-sized bed, and I'm a 6'6" guy, so me and twin size don't really match. So I was hiding in there the entire time. They had come in the room once, left, and they hadn't looked for me since. So I decided to go out, and all I see is that freaking Tyrannosaurus Rex on the bed staring at the closet. It was just aimed right where I was hiding, and when I went in there, it was stowed away in totes. My cousin even pointed it out to me.
So what was this? I just want to know, was this toy like did it have like batteries in it at all that makes them move, or was it just like a plastic toy?
It was a plastic toy. It required batteries for it to move, but my cousin's so afraid of it moving, he
That
took out the batteries. He
Oh,
even
okay.
showed me that the batteries were out, and then he put it back
Oh.
in the tote, put it back, and somehow it got out of the tote and was propped up on the bed.
Okay. Could it be a chance that they're fucking with you, like they're pranking you? You know? No, you don't think so.
No, my uncle, like my uncle Bill, he's the one who's the prankster and does that type of stuff with it. He didn't even know where it was. So
Mm. Where does your cousins and them live? The same state as you, or like
same state.
you should bring it next time or something on the street. That's crazy though. That's crazy.
Nah.
It reminds no, you don't want it. It reminds me of there was another YouTuber that had like the haunted doll, I think. And then when she brought it on my stream, I don't know if you guys watched it. I think you remember. I'm not sure if you remember it. And then it kept on freezing. Like her connection was like all fucked up, and the stream was like I kept on falling out of the stream.
Yeah.
That one
it kept
time
disconnecting you, and her camera just
yeah,
did like a,
because she kept on filming it and stuff, and then
yeah.
that's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, nothing like that because I've. But yeah, it just moves and roars on its own.
Even without batteries.
Yep, even without batteries.
Jesus Christ. I don't know. I was thinking of Toy Story the whole time.
Oh, what if it could be like a Toy Story type thing? Where
Like,
even
you know
if
what I'm
the
saying?
batteries are-
Like in real life, how scary would that be? Like it's like a perfect kids movie, and it's like really cool. But like in real life, if you saw that, like you know the cowboy toy talking to the other toys and shit, like that would be really fucking scary. I mean,
that would be. I would.
Story ever.
I just like King Arthur.
Yeah, like yeah, yeah. All right. So, how come you've never told that story here before, man?
I really didn't think about it until now. I'm trying to think of stories that because I've told a lot of stuff, but I have a lot of stuff that's off. I usually keep for my channel sometimes. Like I have certain experiences over there that I've told, like how I went out into the middle of the forest and met some Mexicans out in the middle of the forest just randomly, just exploring a forest.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I have stories like that and stuff like that on my channel.
All right, so I'm not sure. It's pretty late right now. I wanted to do this story, like read this story from a subscriber of mine, but I'm not sure if we have enough time. All right, you know what? Let's just read this story then, guys, before we have to go. All right. True demon story. This is a very true, scary incident that happened to me last year. I'm a 32-year-old woman who lives alone with my 2 cats, Gypsy and Egypt. The incident started in October and wasn't too frightening at first. I live in North Carolina in a 1-bedroom apartment. It isn't a big apartment, but I don't need much space anyways. One day, I noticed that my cats wouldn't go into my bedroom. This was strange because they always were in the bedroom, unless they were eating or using the litter box anyways. I found it pretty odd, but didn't really put too much thought into it because cats can be weird anyways. I went to bed and called out to them. They came to the door of the bedroom, but refused to come into the room. Again, this was weird because we always slept together. This went on for a week before the shadow started. It happened one night. I was trying to drift to sleep, but something caught my eye in the bathroom, which was connected to my bedroom, and I could see it from my bed. As I looked, eyes adjusting to the dark, I clearly saw a man standing in my tub, but it was more of a shadow of a man. The shadow faded into the wall, and I thought it was just my imagination and went to sleep. A few nights later, the voice started. I was again trying to go to sleep when I heard someone whisper from the bathroom, "Psst, psst, hey." This startled me, and I turned over and looked into the bathroom. There was no one in there, but the shower curtain was moving as if someone had been in there. For the next couple weeks, the voice continued 2 or 3 times a night, waking me from a dead sleep. The whispering would be in different places, like the bathroom, beside the bed, across the room, or at the foot of the bed. The cats were still refusing to come into the bedroom, and I was starting to get freaked out. Then one night, I had enough. I was sleeping soundly when I felt a hand lay on my back. I woke up, and there was a violent push. I sat straight up, and everything on my dresser fell to the ground as though something had shoved it off. The next morning, I called my pastor and his wife, who was a friend of mine, and asked if they could bless the house. They came over within the hour. I explained everything that was going on, and my pastor blessed the house, concentrating on the bedroom and bathroom because that's where the activity was happening. As soon as the blessing was done in the bedroom, the cats ran in and climbed on the bed and went to sleep. You would think that this would be the end of the story, but it isn't. The next morning, me and my pastor's wife went bike riding. We rode on a main road because we were heading uptown for breakfast. Not within 5 minutes into the ride, everything went black. I woke up in the ICU. We had been hit by a car. The strange thing is, the police said the guy who hit us didn't remember hitting us. They tested him for drugs and alcohol, and he was clean. Another thing that was strange was he hit my pastor's wife, just knocking her out and pushing her off the road. She had bumps and bruises, but was otherwise fine. Me, on the other hand, was hit full impact. My leg was nearly torn off, and I was knocked unconscious. My pastor's wife is convinced whatever we had gotten out of the house had attacked me outside of the house. I don't know if the two incidences are connected, but it just seems too suspicious. Considering that I was in front of my pastor's wife on our bikes, she should have gone worse hurt. But I almost died. I don't know what it was, but we think it was a demon. Or it could be a demonic dinosaur toy. All right. Lame as jokes. All right, so I'll just end it. If you guys have any more questions for me in the chat, I will answer them for you. And so I'm sorry, guys, for not having so much streams as before, but I'll try to get back on them. It's refreshing to do a Sunday night stream as we, always did in the past. Hopefully, I can do this every Sunday. You know what? Let's aim for that. All right, I'll try to promise you guys that. You guys have any questions for me in the chat, or I guess for Master Sword, since he's here? Put in the chat, and then we can answer them for you. All right, someone's saying how he punched his sister in the face. That's cool.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. When's your next live? Hopefully it's Sunday.
That's a bit
Hopefully.
drastic, don't you think?
Oh no, we used to do them all the time,
Oh,
weekly.
yeah.
We used to do them twice a week, man. Wednesdays and Fridays. That was like crazy.
Tickling in the face.
Oh yeah. All right. Tell a story. Well, dude, I did tell a story, bro. And then somebody telling me to do something to them in their nether regions. What country are you from? I am from Canada, personally. When is your next live? Hopefully next week. SAS73190. My life sucks, and you make me happy to live with watching your videos, or else they get depressed. Well, thank you for using my stories. I heard that actually horror stories, surprisingly, help people out of depression, because more than like comedy and other kinds of stories, because it like makes them realize there's people in more fucked up situations than themselves, so they get less depressed. So if you're sad, like horror stories or like ghost stories are the thing to go to apparently. That's just, it was like a scientific thing, I guess. So how do I get a chance to tell a story on one of your live streams? Send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com. Sadly for tonight, we're basically done. But for next week, hopefully you can send me an email when I start, and then, you can get on here. People are saying,
I'll be here next time.
yeah, man, thank you. They're saying you should do scary hospital stories. I actually do have a bunch of hospital scary stories, or nurse scary stories that I've uploaded. I have like 600 videos, so I remember doing a couple of those. So go search my video inventory if you guys want to find that. No. Natasha's like, try Bloody Mary. No way, dude. No way. That's
I've
insane.
tried it at Camp Timbers. It was a camp we went to for like band stuff.
Yeah,
Didn't work.
it didn't work.
For me,
I would.
anyway.
I wanted to do a video for Bloody Mary, but like I was too afraid to do it. I don't know. Maybe in my generation, like Bloody Mary was like the scariest thing you could do. I think there wasn't like a lot of the other kind of stuff. So Bloody Mary was like
Try
the
a
thing.
Ouija board.
Oh no.
Do what?
I want one.
I've had experiences
Oh.
with Ouija boards that are creepy as hell.
Yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't do that.
Aw, I want one.
So they're like, what is your next video story theme? Well, my video for tomorrow is ghost hunting gone wrong. So check it out
Damn it.
tomorrow. Anyway, all right, okay, I think that's about it, guys. I'm pretty tired. Thanks for coming up, guys, again. Stopping by, Master Sword,
Bye.
Rita, Riley, and everyone in the... Bye!